When we listen to the stories of other people, when we listen to their viewpoint, when we listen to their perspective, which is always different to ours, it completely broadens our understanding of a situation. When our understanding broadens and we get a deeper understanding of what individuals, what each person is going through, well then that builds our empathy. And then once we have this understanding and empathy of what other people are going through, that actually moves our hearts into change or moves us to take action, but from a place of love and compassion, from a place of listening. Just listening and accepting, learning, and then when we feel moved to make a change in our own habits, or a simple change might be that we just share something that we have found encouraging, or something that we've learned, or a thought, or something that's changed our perspective. That's what I want these stories to do. Each of us have been born into a certain culture. So for example, I was born in Australia, raised with a very Western thinking, very Western culture that's given me a set of what you would call standards that I am supposed to adhere to. I have been conditioned by my culture, I've been conditioned by my upbringing, by my parents' ideas, by the people around me. Whether we like it or not, we are being conditioned from the day we're born. But just like I was conditioned in my culture, in my society, and where I'm from, well then there's other people in other parts of the world that have experienced the exact same conditioning but in a different way. So what is normal to them, what's acceptable to them, is completely different to us. So how do we come together? How do we bridge the gaps of what's considered acceptable? We bridge the gaps with empathy, we bridge the gaps with compassion and understanding, and we talk about it, we listen, we share. We lean into their stories and we say, okay, I understand why you did that, or okay, I can understand why you're angry about that. I can understand why you feel that way. And no matter how many stories we read, we are never ever really going to understand what somebody else has experienced, but we can at least try. So I feel these stories that I send to you, don't think, it's just another story to come past the desk. Each story has been chosen because inside of it, and it's up to you to open it up and have a look, but inside of it is something to get us thinking, something to make us either feel more positive or experience more meaning in our own lives and in the lives of others. It's a bridging of cultures, it's a bridging of ideas, a bridging of differences. It's about embracing our differences, enjoying them, learning from them. And when we do that, we can experience so much more peace in our life. We can actually experience a life in full technicolor. And that is something that's a message I find difficult to communicate, but I want to try and tell you to give these stories a go. And the more stories that you are able to take in and dwell upon and think about, the more your brain and your mind is going to open up to understanding what other people are experiencing. And that's my hope for Daily Inspired Life. So please, when you see the stories come past your desk, read them, share them. Let's get some goodness out there. Let's, instead of allowing other people to tell the stories on behalf of others, let's allow the people who should be telling their stories to tell us. And I really look forward to hearing your response, and I look forward to, even if you have a story that you want to share, if you have a viewpoint that you feel you'd like the opportunity to speak about, then please contact me. I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear perspectives from all people, and the only criteria is that we come from, when we share, we come from a place of non-judgment, a place of compassion and understanding as best we can. And if we don't, we're not quite there with that, we're working towards it. So I thank you for being part of Daily Inspired Life. I thank you for being a subscriber, for being somebody who values the positive, who values the good, and who understands the difference that building up the positivity in our minds can make, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of others as well.